I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant.
Boom, we're live, and I'm having some technical difficulties here. Good evening. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I've done a live show on StreamYard. Looks like Jerome Jones is in the house. Wheel Burner's in the house. Hopefully this is live. I don't know because my phone's acting goofy. Give me a thumbs up in the comments real quick if I'm live. I decided to do, now my dog's barking to go in. Hold on a second. Make up your mind. Oh. All right. No, see? Now my phone went dead. I don't know what's going on, man. Hopefully you can see me. I don't know. I decided to do an old school live show. I'm tired of seeing all this vertical live show crap where so many people show up that you don't even know. The questions are just absolutely... See, something's going on, man. My phone is not working properly. It keeps shutting down. I have no idea what's going on here. Let me play with this for a minute. Let me play with this. Have to return to StreamYard. There we go. Hopefully this is right. Say hello to a couple of people here real quick. Like I said, Jerome Jones is in the house. Big Money, what up? Wheel Burner Express is in the house. What's going on, man? Justin Axford's in the house. What's up, bro? How are you? Give me a call tomorrow. I think you... Yeah, give me a call tomorrow. Justin, if you're still watching this. Barry's in the house. What's going on, Barry? How you been, man? Plays on the freeways in the house. Hollywood's in the house. Yes, I'm at the house. Hold on. I am at the house tonight. Have been since Wednesday. And I'm not leaving out again until Wednesday. I'm taking, what is that, 7 days off. So my wife is going on vacation tomorrow. So there goes my phone again. I don't know what. How do I do this? Auto rotate. I don't know what's going on. My phone shouldn't be dimming and closing out. You know what I mean? Wheel Burner Express is saying everything sounds good. Edward's in the house. Good evening, sir. This Trucking Life's in the house. Hello from the couch. Well, hello from my backyard. It's a beautiful night here in Minnesota. Like I said, my wife is leaving for vacation tomorrow. So right now she's downstairs watching a movie with the kids, and I don't really feel like watching a movie. So I decided to come and hang outside and go live. Sitting at Kroger's with a red light. Oh, Hollywood, I know how that feels. That red light sometimes stays on for hours, and then you'll get the green light, and it will be hours before you get your paperwork. Grade 8 Transportation's in the house. What's going on, brother? Gary Bates is in the house. We can see you. All right, good. By the way, it's Friday night. It is Friday night, isn't it? Good call. It's Friday night. I don't know why I was thinking it was Saturday. I don't know. I was just in my garage ripping apart my Predator generator. Really don't know why. See, there goes my phone again. I don't know what's going on with my phone, y'all. I'm afraid that if I go into my settings, it's going to mess this up. Shannon's in the house. Oh, you know what? Can I leave a comment? Hold on a second. I can on YouTube. Let me see if I can do something here. Hold on. Am I back? Am I back? I think I just did something. Let me look through these comments. I did. If anybody wants to join the live show this Friday evening, go ahead and click that link. I really, like I said, I don't have a lot to talk about tonight. I was just bored and thought I would do a live show. I thought it was Saturday night, not Friday night. That kind of tells you, damn freaking, my phone is driving me nuts here, guys. I don't know what's going on. Kroger's is 10 minutes away from my house. Just sucks. Yeah, man, that's a tough place. That is a tough place to be. I know all about Kroger's. Make sure Shannon doesn't pass me up in steps. Oh, you're out running around, huh? Ryan's in the house. You're in New York. Went out for a walk. You know what I've been doing a lot? I deliver to a lot of the same places, guys. I run a lot of the same freight, whether it's contracted freight, customer freight, subscriber freight. I run a lot of the same freight on the same lanes. So I've gotten to know areas that I deliver to and go to. And a lot of the places I go to have like train tracks. Some that are functional and some that are obsolete. So I've started walking train tracks at night. Or in the daytime, depending on what time I deliver. Never take a load to Kroger's. Oh, Ryan, you got to take a load sometimes to Kroger's if the money's right. You know what I mean? I don't go to Kroger's too often, but that's because, like I just got done saying, I haul a lot of the same freight, man. It goes to the same receivers. I pick up a lot at the same shippers. At times it's boring. You know what? I gotta figure out my settings here. Hold on a second. This is probably gonna screw everything up. Hold on a second. Settings. Let's see if this works. I don't think it's going to work. I don't know what's going on with my phone. It was kind of weird setting up this stream, too, on StreamYard. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a StreamYard live show. The new fad, is the vertical versus horizontal. I'm just tired of that, man. I've gained subscribers from doing that, but I also have lost, like, what I like about my channel and what I like about doing live shows. Oh, I got a guest back here. Let me see who we got here. Ah, there we go. All right, we'll bring this guy in. The rookie. Okay, add to stage. Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good. Trying to figure out my phone, bro. So you're out on the move, huh? Making rookie mistakes? Going to places that you can't get out of?
No, got out fine, but got like a 5-day load to come out of there.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
I've been on this load since Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Is it the one that you and I talked about?
Yeah.
So you came out of the South and you're heading basically to the Midwest area, like the eastern part of the Midwest, right?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
Yeah, okay. Everybody knows you, but if they don't, who are you? I see you say the rookie, but we know you're not a rookie. We know you're a player in this game, bro. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm the rookie.
The rookie.
It.
All right.
I'm the rookie.
We'll go with that. So if I'm thinking right, and I'm not going to say personal things, but you're going to be gone here in a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm making my way. I got a couple connecting loads. There was enough on this load that I could deadhead all the way from Ohio back to Wisconsin and still be just over $2 a mile.
Oh,
if I
nice.
wanted to. But I got 2 other just little connecting runs. I got a water load tomorrow, and then a 1-pick two drop that finals over there by like Lake Station, Indiana. And then I'm just gonna deadhead back and then fly out of Wisconsin to go home because I'm getting married.
Yeah.
A week from today. A week from today.
Congratulations, bro. I want that's how come I told you to give me a call. I wanted to give you
You can put it out there. It's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't. I'll be fully transparent here. I did not get invited to the wedding. I am a loser. I'm not welcome west of I-35, evidently. But no, I wanted to say congratulations to you on a personal level, man. That's a huge step.
Thank you, buddy.
I've known you for a while now and know that you're excited about this chapter of your life. So I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'll make sure that I send you a picture of me and Cash at my wedding.
Yeah.
We'll send that on over to you, okay? And DIY.
I love it. And DIY and everybody else, right? Except me.
How's the house doing? Yeah.
You're about to learn that your money is no longer your money. I can say with every. Well, I guess my money is not my money either, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
That prenup game is strong.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
No, so let's talk a little bit about, you and I talk a lot about business at times, and I wouldn't say we agree all the time, but I do think we think a lot alike. Mm-hmm. And I got a comment the other day that said a lot of what you and I do for. Everybody knows we do multiple stops, or at least people know I do, upwards of 10, 11 drops sometimes. They exceed 4, sometimes 5 days. It sounds like you're on multiple stops now. The comment was, rookies do this. Rookies do multi-drop loads, and I'm not a real truck driver. I would argue that what we do, not many people want to do it. That's why we make the money we make. And 2, there is a lot of work into anytime you exceed, I would say 2 days and 5 stops. There is a lot of planning that you have to do to get the work done. Anyways, my question to you is, do you think it's actually rookie work, or do you think it takes I'm not going to say special, but like somebody that knows what they're doing to do what you and I do?
Could be a combination of both. So for instance, like the load that I'm on right now, what we typically do, on a weekly or monthly basis, no, absolutely not. I think you need to have some experience and you have to have really good time management to do that. The load that I'm on in particular, which I'm sure there's a lot of people that have seen loads similar to this, but I'm on a 1-pick 4 drop. They happen to all be at Walmart DC's is where I'm delivering to, so everybody knows you can't show up more than an hour early for the most part. They'll turn you away. And there's a lot of time on this. I mean, I started I was down in northern Florida, and I'm finaling in Ohio. You know what I mean? In like eastern Ohio. I mean, I'm less than an hour away from Pittsburgh, PA. So, I mean, I'm not.
Oh, wow.
I'm not too far. There's not a lot of miles on this. I mean, I've only done 1,150 miles on this load since Tuesday. You know what I mean? So this one, I could see a beginner doing this. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think if it paid and it made more sense to do a 1-and-1, I would do a 1-and-1. Right now, it pays more to do a multi-stop than it does a 1-and-1. You know what I mean? But if it paid the same money, I'd rather do a 1-and-1. But there's a reason why you do this. It's because I think like you just said, it's supply and demand. I don't think there's as many people that are wanting to do it. I mean, I don't know about you, but the way the freight market's been, I've been bidding and not really getting a ton of calls back. but on these multi-stops, about 50+ % of the time, if it's a spot market load and it's got more than 2 drops, if it's got 3 to 4 drops and or a little bit of time on it, I'll bid it high. And a lot of times I get a call back. And this one I did. The guy called me back. I bid it. I'll put it to you this way. I ended up getting this load for about almost $1,000 more. They had $950 more than what they were asking on the board. I think that's pretty significant, considering that most of the 1-in-1s that I've been calling on, I don't know about you, but I've been having a hard time. I feel lucky if I can bump them $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the market's weird. Like, I mean, I don't run a lot of spot market freight. I mean, you run more spot market freight than I do. So I don't deal with a lot of the turn away from that. But today I called on a load for Wednesday and I ran into that. I called on 3 loads and they just weren't willing. Granted, they have more time. The loads don't ship till Wednesday, but they weren't willing to budge at all. And my offers were not excessive at all. You know what I mean? They were very aggressive in my mind. Like not, they were right there. And they wouldn't even budge $150 on one load. 75 I got on another one, but I didn't want it. But the multi-stops I find, even if it's multiple pickups, like I ran a spot market load 2 weeks ago that had 3 pickups. In the room, basically what I got it for and what it was posted for, it wasn't quite as good as you got, but it was substantially more. You know what I mean? And I think I
got lucky on this one.
I think once you know how to do the multi-stops or the LTL freight, you can negotiate a lot better because you know what you're negotiating. Mm-hmm. You're really not negotiating. You are negotiating the miles, but not the same way as you are a 1-in-1. You're negotiating more of the pallet count, more of the weight, how many days you have in it. All that factors in.
Right there, you just hit it. I really do a combination of the miles and the day rate and really the temperature. I mean, like I said, I came out of the South. This is a -10-degree load that's on continuous from Tuesday until tomorrow, Saturday. I mean, it's every bit of a 5-day load at -10, and it hasn't really been anything under 90 degrees, the whole time. Like, I feel bad for the reefer.
Yeah.
Running hard, I did some math on it. I think I'm burning close to $200 worth of reefer fuel this run, and that's pretty significant, compared to what we normally do. So,
but I believe you're also, I mean, it's no lie. I believe you've been on with Cash and DIY, right? Like you've been on their live shows, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you're leased on to the same carrier that I'm leased on to. And I think you are the only one that actually runs with a bulkhead.
I do.
Tell me some of the benefits you've seen running with, first of all, how did you get the bulkhead? And second of all, how the benefits that you've seen from this?
So I ran into a guy that had an electric pallet jack, in DIY. He did a video a while ago, him purchasing one. So it kind of just gave me the idea. And then, like I said, I saw a guy in a dock one time, got to talking to him. He had a bulkhead and an electric pallet jack as he was lumping, some of the freight when he was going to some of these deliveries. But he said the best investment he ever made was that bulkhead. So I've been keeping an eye open for one because I really like the one that DIY has, but I just wasn't willing to pay. I was willing to pay how much he paid for the bulkhead. I know how much he paid for the shipping. I mean, that's a pretty big item to get shipped. And I just wasn't down in that area or found a place that I could just kind of walk in and grab one when my trailer, it would have had to been the perfect scenario. So I just started getting on Facebook Marketplace and looking as I was going through the country. I knew the lane that I was running pretty consistently. So I was looking between, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Chicago, all the way to the East Coast. And it took me about a month before I found one that was going to be within my route, and I was on a load that I had a little bit of time to spare. And I found it in Ohio, and the guy had two of them. It was about 30 miles or 30 minutes out of my route. So I just hit him up on Marketplace, and the deal was he had one that was like slightly damaged, and then the other one was in probably 8 out of 10 condition. And I hit him up, and he said, "Hey, the deal is you got to take both of them, $50." So it's a name
for
brand.
all you that don't know, I don't mean to interrupt you, Rookie. For all you that don't know, that is a steal. Like,
Yeah.
even if the Rookie had to like redo the entire thing, just the insulation in those and the padding in those is worth that $50.
Yeah, I easily, even the one that I have doesn't fit perfectly, so I did have to add like a 2x4 on the bottom of it, because it's about 2 inches short, in order to keep it completely tight.
That's what she said.
Even the one that I have right now that doesn't fit perfectly, that I had to add to that, all day I would spend $600 for it all day. Used, the condition that it was, all day. I actually just did a video the other day that I was just sending to a couple drivers on Snapchat, that I was showing. It was 89 degrees outside. It was 10:30 in the morning. I had opened my doors at, I think, my first or second delivery, and I had the doors open for probably about 15 minutes. And just backed into the dock, and my reefer was holding -6 degrees, having that bulkhead in there. So it definitely, that I would say that's the biggest advantage, is having those doors open when you go to these receivers and you sit there for hours on end before they start unloading you. And I don't have E-Tracks in my trailer either. I just use a load bar to keep it up against the wall. So a lot of people say, hey, it's a big, it's a pain in the butt or whatever. It's not that bad. I don't have a problem with it. I like making money and saving money. So it's a good tool.
I hope my neighbor's dogs aren't being too loud. My neighbor's dogs are going crazy. Anyways, yeah, no, I've thought long and hard about getting a bulkhead. I know that there's another one sitting at Adam's house that I can try out. Because it is, I think, for what we do. I mean, last week I ran all the way from Chicago back to Wisconsin to Minnesota with 6 pallets in my truck for 2.5 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I barely had, it wasn't even a quarter of my trailer loaded. You know what I mean? So being able to block all that cold air from cooling the entire trailer would save me a lot of money. You know what I mean? I'm
going to do a calculation on it, because I keep track of every gallon and penny that I put into the reefer tank. So I'm going to do a calculation on it. I've now officially had it for over a month. I've actually had it for about a month and a half. So I'm going to do a calculation on there and see how big the savings is. What I'm hoping is that I'm using less reefer fuel now, even though it's getting hotter, using the bulkhead, than I did even in the first quarter.
Now, were you one of the guys that painted the roof of your trailer as well with that reflective paint or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, you need to do this, because this is good information. This will help me make some decisions, because I opted not to paint my trailer. I think I was told the cost was around like $500 to paint the trailer.
It's like four. I think it was. I can't quite recall. 4 or 5. It was under 500, but yeah, at least 400. Took a day. It took 4 or 5 hours. I did 2 coats. So and I try to stay on top of it. I mean, I do the best that I can. I'm cautious about, when I pull out of the docks, I try to close those doors immediately. I try to back up to the docks as much as I can before I open those doors. Like whatever I could do to try to save on fuel.
Yeah, I do the same thing, man. I cannot stand being in the, I mean, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing and have somebody watch this later. There's tricks when you run a reefer where when your doors are open, you can, I mean, I don't want to say the wrong thing right now, but yeah, I mean, when you're sitting in those doors and like you said, pulling -10, you're burning, once those doors are open, you're going to start burning dollars very quickly. Cents per mile says, I go on duty for my first stop, then PC for the next stops. Easy money. That's a heavy haul, oversized RGN trailer telling us he's doing multi-stops. He's putting 2 dozers on one trailer. And you know, he's got a hood truck. Does he really have to run an ELD? And are you really running #lowlife, #hood truck if you're running an ELD? Or are you more of a poser when you're doing that? I'm gonna get it now. He's gonna kill me.
Speaking of hood trucks, man, what do you think of Coronado?
I like them. You know, I think in this I think right now, I think it was you and I that were having this conversation. I think any truck that is not in the excess of mid-7s per gallon, like they're obsolete, man. I hate to say, I want one. I talked to you last week. I found my dream truck, guys, and I have the finances to buy it. I don't know how good a fuel mileage the Coronados get. I'm gonna guess they're in the 7s. I wouldn't say they're a bad truck. I think any truck we find like that now that's a glider kit is gonna have, unless it's rebuilt, it's gonna have a crap load of miles on it. They're gonna be older trucks that are gonna need new wiring. I don't know, man, because I know for me, I want a W900, and I found it, man. Matter of fact, I called you about it, and I think if I was to buy that truck, I would enjoy it for a couple of months until I realized how much money I was actually losing driving it. You know what I mean? And I think somebody like you that is getting upwards of almost 9 miles a gallon everywhere you're going right now in the summertime, like, you're so much better than a lot of your competition right now, man, including me. And I made that decision because I'm a Cummins guy. I went with a Cummins motor because I like Cummins, and you opted to go a different way. And the reality is, if we pull the exact same load, which you and I do, you make more money than me. I mean,
I don't make more. Probably keep a little bit. You know, not much.
Well,
probably keep a little bit more.
You don't spend as much. Put it that way. You don't spend as much money on the load as I have to.
My fuel bill has been very, very good lately. I've been very fortunate. The super singles helped a lot, though. You know, I'm constantly trying to do little things and learn to, you know, I even took like my, I've got the skirts on my trailer, and I had some leftover, you know, when you get those, the air tabs for around your truck, because I got them on the truck, but I don't have them on the lower fairings because they don't match, and I just haven't painted them. So I had a bunch of extra ones, and I said, screw it, and I put them on the rear of the skirts. I saw another truck that had that one time on a Volvo with a utility trailer, and the rear of the skirt, he put the remainder, you know, like 5 or 6 air tabs on the back of those to help push that air out, you know, from on the outside of those trailer tires or whatever. But yeah, I'm constantly trying to do whatever I can to try to save as much money. I'm actually thinking about buying a second battery for the Zero Breeze because I don't have an APU, and this battery, the Zero Breeze is great, but it only lasts, at least this battery I have, it only lasts for about 4 to 5 hours on the lowest setting, which is enough to get me to go to sleep. But like, for instance, this load, I've got so much time. I mean, I've been parked, for the last 2 to 3 hours, and I don't deliver. I'm a mile down the street from my delivery. I don't deliver there till 2:30 in the afternoon. So, you know what I mean? And that thing takes 4 or 5 hours to charge. Well, if I'm not driving anywhere, if I run this thing tonight, I'm going to be hot in the morning. So thinking about getting a second battery, investing in a second battery so that I can swap them. I can have one charging because I've been noticing, I'm not going to lie, I've been idling a little bit here and there because I have to,
So I have a 35, the Predator 3500 on the back of my truck. And the other day, how I was parked is it just was overheating. That I know that's what was happening. The carbon monoxide detector came on, you know what I mean, to shut down the engine. Maybe it wasn't venting right, that could be a possibility, but it was so hot out where I was parked that the generator was running for about 4 hours, shut off. I couldn't get the thing started again. And I was tired, man. I hadn't slept. So I idled my truck for like 7.5, 8 hours and went back to sleep. And I started thinking kind of like you, like, I miss having an APU. I'm this close to spending because I'm going to go new, I think, versus used like I did last time. And the one I priced out, it's going to be $14,000, but I'm very close to doing it for multiple reasons. A, I don't like idling my truck because it's wasted money in my mind. Two, that engine only has so many revolutions, you know what I mean? And you're burning up some of those revolutions doing nothing, generating nothing.
I don't really so much care. It doesn't hurt me so much with burning the fuel. It's those DPF filters. You know what I mean?
I'm not worried about those. Those are cheap. Those are cheap. I went through that with the Mac and realized $500.
Yeah, they're not cheap if your truck derates, though, and you got a big enough problem. You have to figure out how to get the truck to the shop. Then it's expensive.
That I agree with. But I'm actually thinking I'm bringing my truck in. I'm at 450,000 miles right now on my truck. And I think when it goes in to get all the body work done, I am also going to bring it after the body work's done. I'm going to drop it off at a shop that I found and do like the overhead adjustment. I'm going to do the DPF filter, a new 7th injector.
7th injector, I'm telling you, you can pull it out and you can clean it. Take a look at it before you replace it, because that 7th injector, I think they're like $300-$400 brand new. You can clean them.
Well, I just bought a new NOx sensor for $475. Now it's not Cummins. The Cummins one was $675 with a $250 core charge. That's outrageous.
Yeah,
and I only bought the inlet one. So I'm sure the outlet's going to go as soon as I replace the inlet.
Yeah.
I had somebody messing with it one day, and after they were done messing with it, I started driving, and it failed. So I blame that person.
It must have been a rookie.
Yeah, it must have been a rookie. But I don't know, man. This industry, when you talk about the trucks, like, I just gave Cents Per Mile some crap. Cents Per Mile has a very beautiful truck. He said something to me one day about, I'm buying this truck to live out my dream. And I thought, oh, Poet's in the house. What up, Poet? I got another guest here. Hold on 1 second before I get to that guest. And I thought about what he said, and I was like, that makes sense to me. Like, it does. It makes sense to me that if you can look past certain things, I just think I'm semi-brainwashed. I'll be honest. I think I'm semi-brainwashed that I couldn't look past the financial burden that a truck like that would cause me.
There comes a balance. You know what I mean? I think there's a balance in between the lifestyle, what your end game goal is, and because I'm not speaking for cents per mile, but I mean there's guys that this is their life. This is what they do. You know what I mean? And me personally, this is a job. You know what I mean? Like this pays the bills. It is a dream, but I don't plan on living in this truck for the next 30 to 40 years. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the people that are like that, I could totally understand their point of view and just saying, hey, if I'm going to do this, I want to drive what I want to drive, period. And if that means that the truck's, getting 5-6 miles a gallon and they recognize that and acknowledge that, then you know what? That's on you. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't go complaining that, the rates are what they are, and you have the ability to make a change. But a lot of people
let me be clear. I don't know if you've ever watched any of Cents Per Miles videos. That guy doesn't complain about his fuel costs.
Right? I wasn't saying he was.
No, I want to be clear because I know he's watching this. He doesn't complain. I have a lot. I mean, like I said, when he made that statement to me, it made sense. I'm going to say hi to Poet real quick. That says the reason I want multi-stop or multis is MLTs mostly pays by the hour. He's getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in this guest real quick. This is a Canadian. I'm probably closer to him than I am you right now, mileage wise.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Don't call me sir. I hate when people call me sir.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, you Canuck.
Yeah. Okay. That'll take.
How you doing?
Okay. I just quit my job because, okay, you're talking about things right now where it's affecting your life right now. If things start becoming a problem when you start walking through your front door, normally you leave everything at the front door. And if your job or other problems around you start becoming through your door, you need to make a change.
I couldn't agree more with you. And I've been in those situations in my life. I
know guys
agree
who
with
want to
that
divorce
statement.
their wives over this because of their job. Okay, is it your wife or is it your job?
Are you asking me? I'm going to choose my family. I will choose my family 100 times out of 100 times versus
my fucking job.
Over a job. I would, and I've done it. That is a tough place to be in, though. Especially if you.
Did you talk to your wife before you made that choice, though, too? That's the thing. Like, you didn't just leave your wife in the lurch, right?
No, I've never. I'm divorced, and this is this is my second marriage. So I learned through my first marriage what I did wrong, and kind of convinced myself I would never do that again. And part of what I did wrong in my first marriage was not have that open communication as much as I think you should. So no, my relationship with my wife today is very open. And if there was a time where I needed to have a come to Jesus moment or a heart to heart moment, I totally would do it, because I stand to lose too much. I love what I do,
but it ain't work. Teamwork. You got to work together as a team, as a relationship. You have to work as a team. And if you can't work as a team, then that's not a fucking relationship.
No, I agree. WTF, that got to do with the program. WTF.
Sorry. What the fuck?
Yeah, I try not to curse. So thanks, Canuck. Anyways, no, I agree with you, man. I think life is, truthfully, I think life is short. I think a lot of us, I guess I can only speak for myself. I have made decisions and done things that have taken me away from
You as being a
people,
better person.
places, and things that I'll never get back. I try hard not to do that today. It's hard though. I'll be honest about something. Like, it's hard when you get the like entrepreneur mindset, right? Like, I do things outside of trucking. I know that there's another person in here that him and I have talked about other things too. So like, once you get this mindset of wanting to open up more things, I know you talked about opening up a restaurant once. It's hard to pause that and really stop that thinking to focus on what's important at times. At least it is for me. But I check myself a lot, to be honest.
We went a lot deeper on taking that restaurant because they didn't know background on it. And they were missing how the restaurant. So if we would have done that restaurant,
I'll make you uncomfortable. Your internet's going out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear me, bro. Your internet was going out. It's so light where you are right now.
I know, for real.
Where in Canada do you live, bro? What province?
Manitoba.
Son.
Manitoba?
Yeah.
I guess you're a little further. You know? Huh. It's just so light out. Let me say hi to a couple of people here. Barry says, valid point.
Before I lose signal, okay? Love you all, okay? But props to you. Like, bring up these conversations because they need to be brought up.
Will do,
a lot
bro.
of people are stuck in a fucking bad situation, okay? And
I hear you, man.
Good, helpful reminder.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, peace out, bud.
Take it easy, man. Hollywood says, fake, get a bulkhead. It helps and saves a ton of money. Also paint the roof. I did it and put 2 coats. I believe you did 2 coats too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. I actually watched that guy. I'll make you uncomfortable. He's been a fellow subscriber for a long time. He'll go live quite a bit and I'll watch him. And plus being so close to Canada, I like watching Canada channels, Canadian channels, I guess. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, that's, you and I talk about that too, man, because we're runners. I mean, people give me crap because I take vacations, because when I take vacations, I do take a lot of time off. Like right now, I'm taking 7 days off, but I haven't been home since the day after Mother's Day. You know what I mean? And I know you do the same thing. You run for what, 8 weeks usually, and then fly home?
It depends, but sometimes I take more time off than others. I mean, the first, I knew I had the wedding coming up, so I'm getting ready to take the longest vacation I've taken in years. I'm taking 20 days off for my honeymoon and my wedding. But I mean, yeah, last time I ran for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, and then I went home for just the weekend. I flew home for just the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, flew right back out, and I've been running for about 3 weeks now. And yeah, I typically only take anywhere from 3 to 5 days off at a time, and I usually run for a minimum of 3 weeks at a time. But yeah, I have been flying home more than, like, I think I've only had my truck home in Idaho, I think, twice this year.
We got another guest. I gotta bring him in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
What is he drinking?
White Claw. Look at his hair. He drinks White Claw.
That's good. I usually drink it in a bottle, though.
Well, Here's the deal: us hood truck guys will throw bottles. So
Well, you should leave them on, man. You look like the Terminator. You look like the Terminator
why?
when you had your glasses on.
They're
Leave
fogging
them
up.
Yeah, you look cool. How are you doing, man? What's new with you? You're the resident hood truck guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
I'm here to answer all your questions.
Well, this is so cool because I saw it in the chat too. You said it's only money. Let me go back to it. Here's your comment. You said it's only money. I'll make more next week. I prefer to smile and be happy when I'm stuck in a rig. I just dropped another 1,200 on a boat and want to talk about a money pit. I fully agree with you on a money pit with boats. That's why I don't own a boat anymore. That boat cost me a crap load of money. But
Yeah,
I think
did you make some money today?
I haven't done anything today.
Did you make money this week?
Yes. Wait a minute. Yeah, I made money. You know what? Let's look. Hold on. I'm sure I made money today. Let me oh shoot. I can't do it while I'm on this. Yes, I'm sure I made money today.
Kind of the point we're making there.
Yeah, no, it's but no, I want to know because you went, well, how do I say this? You had a fuel efficient truck, then you bought the hood truck, and tell everybody because I know the answer to this.
Let's talk about
because you shared this with me.
Let's talk about that for a minute, though.
Yeah, because this is very interesting because you shared this with me. Tell me the difference between your plastic aerodynamic truck versus your hood truck, your Peterbilt.
I had a 2017
Keep talking.
Peterbilt 579 with the Cummins in it, and I keep track of it on a Excel sheet that I created, and that 579 I was averaging about 30% of my gross revenue was going to fuel, and as of right now I am at 28% with a hood truck with a 389, a year newer Cummins. Both had 13 speeds in them, manuals, and I'm actually getting better fuel mileage with the hood truck.
Yeah, but gross revenue, you say 30%. I mean, at the end of the day, what kind of MPG were you averaging on an average quarter, throughout the year in one truck versus the other truck?
I'm right in the same ballpark. I'm mid to high sixes on both.
Have you ever had a truck that gets 8.5 miles a gallon?
No.
When you pencil out the math, it's not going to say, again, it depends on the individual. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. You want to drive a truck like that? Drive a truck like that. Like, you have every right to. It's just, I don't know, because I haven't had the truck that I truly want to drive as an owner operator. Only as a company driver I don't give a damn what kind of MPG I was getting there, you know what I mean? And I did enjoy driving the truck, and I drove it completely different, but I don't know if I can pencil it out and justify more than a mile to maybe a mile, like 7.5. I could probably make that work, but 6.5 miles a gallon, that would eat me alive, I feel like.
But let me ask you this. So majority of your time, so especially you spend a lot of time away from home, right?
I would say at least lately, this year, I had some big boy bills I had to take care of, and but yeah, and I also spent all my extra money to pay off this truck. I paid it off in December. I bought it in July of last year, paid it off in December, and then I immediately had to start paying towards my wedding. I wanted the wedding paid off before the wedding, so. So yeah, I mean, I usually spend at least 3 weeks, sometimes more, on the road.
Yeah.
He doesn't. And here's the difference of trucking. I know that cents per mile is home. You're home almost every weekend, right?
Yeah, I try to be. Yep.
Yeah, you're home almost every weekend. It seems like we don't talk a lot, but every time we might chat for a minute, you tell me you're on your way home, or I'll see you in another live show and you're like, "Oh, I'm sitting on my couch." You're obviously home right now.
No, I got a bigger sleeper now.
Yeah. And your kids can run around with you.
Yep.
No, I think I gotta believe that you're doing very well for being home every weekend, and also in my mind leaving some money on the road. You know what I mean? And I know you're not, like, I know what you just shared because you shared that with me. There's no arguing like numbers, right? When you have the data that you have. I think for me, if I was in, let's say, your truck with what I do, I think I would have to stay out longer to feel comfortable. To be honest, like, I can, my
So
fuel bill.
all a perspective, though, right? So, I mean, I see what you're saying. Also, though, the freight that I haul, we're not getting hit as hard as you guys are right now. I hear the numbers that you guys are hitting, and I could not make that. No way in hell I could not make that. And
Well,
definitely, if I was pulling your guys' freight, yeah, I'd be running nonstop.
it's
You
not
have
even
to.
that. What?
You have to.
You have to if you want to achieve whatever your goal is. See, and that's the thing is I think it all comes down to like well first off, what market whereabouts do you live? Like what's his lane?
He I know where he lives. He lives where we haul out of, where we want to get our outbound loads from. He lives
Gotcha.
there.
Okay.
Well, it's no secret.
So
I live in southern Wisconsin,
okay.
right by the Illinois border.
Okay. So you're in a fairly very, very good freight market. So it kind of depends on, and this is a problem that I've had to learn, and why I've had to deal with it is I fly home a lot because I live in Idaho. So Idaho is really, for reefer, it's not very hard to come out of at all. There's always potatoes and there's always cheese. I mean, it's am I getting in a phenomenal rate? No, but I not one time in over a year have I ever had a problem trying to find a load that I can go all the way across the country and get at least 220 to 250 a mile, somewhere right around there. But getting home, that's another story. Completely, another story. I mean, it's a struggle. Every single time it seems to be a struggle. And I have a couple connections, but usually it's easier just to try to get something to go to Denver, and then you just kind of slow, two-step it from Denver to Salt Lake back to Idaho. But that's why I've been flying. But in order to hit the goals that I want, like, I do feel like I need to stay out for a long duration of time. You know what I mean? And yeah, I couldn't imagine getting a truck that got a mile to 2 miles a gallon less, because then that just then means that I feel like I got to stay out longer.
Yep.
I think you just both. I think both of you have made. How do I say this? Because cents per mile. I'm not trying to say that your goals are less or anything like that. So don't think I'm saying anything negative here. I think it is all goal orientated. If I really think about it, I don't have to do what I do or what I just got done doing, Midwest to East Coast, multi-stop back to the Midwest, back to the East Coast, like 5 times in a row. I don't have to do that. I do it because I want to pay my truck off.
There it is.
You know what I mean? Or
Right
I want to pay more on my mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of it, and I'm not saying, like I said, cents, I'm not saying your goals. If your daughter wants to wave, she can wave. That's cool. Just understand we might say the wrong thing in front of your kid. because I think part of me is jealous that you're home every weekend,
Well,
and I don't.
I
What?
have a bit more. I have a little bit more leeway on that too. So, like, I'm not empty right now, right? So, where if I was in your situation, I'd be running a reefer. I have a military tank sitting on my trailer right now. So, all weekend long, I got to go over there and make sure no hoodlums and try to break into this thing. Being that killdozer in my town, you know what I mean? So, I'm home, but I'm not off duty.
That's the best way to do it, man. If you can run through the house while you're under the load. That's why I was thinking, like, living in Idaho, there's a lot of freight going up to like Tacoma, Washington, Seattle area. And then, if I could develop a lane that went, circled back between Tacoma all the way to like Salt Lake or Denver, I mean, I could literally pass through the house, consistently going both ways, and that would be phenomenal. It sounds like that's kind of what you're doing here. And
is that even possible for you in this market, though?
So here's the thing. You got to understand something. Like, because I know I'm going to piss people off by saying this, because I get where you're getting this idea of the market. I'm telling you, half that's false. Like, Justin and I were talking earlier, the rookie and I were talking earlier, where you can't get a broker to budge $100, right? I just booked a load today where I couldn't get that broker to budge $100. I still got $3.10 a mile to leave Minnesota out to the East Coast. Are rates really bad when you're getting $3.10 a mile? No, they're not. Now I know your freight is much different than what we deal with, but like, I think for the lanes I run, I have, and granted, a lot of it's the same freight. I got a subscriber that gives me all the loads I want. They have not cut the rate at all. And is it top level freight? No. Is it bottom feeder freight? No. It's right there in the middle that there is enough meat on the bone for everybody to make money. You understand what I'm saying?
As long as you can find those, though, I have noticed that it's almost like there's two different types of brokers. There's ones that'll cut you a fair deal, and there's ones that'll cut your throat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then there's ones that just hang up on you.
I've never sat. The only time I've ever sat is because I've chose to. You know what I mean? Well, that's not true. I sat when I had a broker cancel a load on me, and I was right by where my pickup was like 2 days later, and I didn't want to leave that area. You know what I mean? And I couldn't find the load that made sense for me to start my truck. I would say, I bet there's maybe 5 times I've hauled a load that I've really thought like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'll never do this again. You know what I mean? Like,
you got a no-call list, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's people I don't want to haul freight for, and I won't. And I think I can speak for, the rookie. I mean, we're leased onto a carrier that gives us some opportunities if we need them. You understand what I mean? Like, we have the availability to do some stuff that other people don't have the ability to do. That's a plus, but what you do is so damn, like, how do you get all your permits? You haul oversized freight. How do you get all your permits? Does that go into your negotiation?
Sometimes a broker will say, permits are, so either they're supplied or they're paid for, reimbursed, yada, yada.
Okay.
Majority of the time, that's my expense. But we have a safety guy in our office that when I book that load, he gets the dimensions and stuff from the RateCon, and he'll actually order all my permits for me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So we got a question here from John Brown that says, if you could drive a hood truck that gets the same miles per gallon as a plaster truck, wouldn't you? I'm assuming wouldn't you drive it? Hell yeah, I would drive it.
That depends for me. Like, I'll be straight up. I don't want to drive a flat top. I would like to have a truck that I can at least stand up in.
Oh, I ain't
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Define hood truck. I mean, yeah, I would. I would drive a hood truck. Like I said, if it got a mile per gallon less, but just penciling it out, like 2 miles a gallon less than what I'm getting right now for me, to hit the goals that I want, it's not feasible. You know what I mean? If both trucks are going to pull the same freight and I'm going to get paid the same for the same load, me personally, I'm going to maximize as much as I can. Now, in your scenario and what you're hauling, my guess is based on some of the weights and the transmissions that are in your style of truck aren't even offered, and you couldn't even hook my truck up and haul some of the stuff that you're hauling with RGN. Absolutely not.
So that's where it kind of comes into play too. It's like, yes, fuel mileage comes into play, but it's not. I'm not going to be as aerodynamic as you guys can get. You know what I mean? I'm going to buck the wind. At that point, you have to fit it in.
My truck would blow up. My truck would blow up if I hooked up to your trailer. Even with the Cummins torque, it would blow up.
So let me ask. So when you're booking a load, you know, a random load through, say a broker that you know are hauling, you know, heavy hauling, are you really taking into factor the same type of stuff that we do when we're booking a load as you know, hauling reefer? As in, like, are you comparing the rate per day versus the rate per mile versus, hey, all the permits? Or are you just going, hey, no matter, I don't care what the rate per day is, I need, you know, $5 a mile or $10 a mile, whatever it is? I mean, are you kind of comparing everything?
Yeah. The whole ball of variables comes into play, because not low thing. You know, if it's a short run, you can base it into that day rate if you have to. If it's a longer run, you're going to start looking at what kind of a market am I going into.
Yeah.
You know, if to just a garbage market where I'm going to be deadheading 5-6 hours out of there just to find yoker load I'm going to nail them for more money. And if they don't bite, they don't bite. You know,
are you asking a lot of these brokers, like, hey, how many of this particular equipment? Like, I'm sure that there's brokers or jobs lined up where they're like, hey, we actually have 10 of these. This job consists of getting all of these over to point B over the course of the next month. Because I have a buddy that works over at Gary Amos out of Idaho. I don't know if you've seen them. They run a little bit more Midwest. They do go out to the east, but not very often. They have step deck, flat bag. Actually, they have everything: curtain, dry van. But they only have a handful of RGN drivers, and he's a company driver over there and swears by him. He absolutely loves them. And he does get a lot of his own permits, even as a company driver. But I've noticed, does a lot of deadhead miles, because they will get a contract, you know, or a customer that they need to move all these balers or whatever they're moving, and he's going out to the Dakotas and he is just hightailing it and heading straight back to the house, taking a 34 or just sitting for a day and then getting reloaded and taking another one out. And he'll do that for weeks at a time sometimes.
Yep. I've done it. I've had brokers ask me to do it before, going from like Norfolk, Virginia into Kentucky.
Yeah.
Building a big battery plant there. So a lot of stuff's coming over on barges from China. And it was getting in there, and they wanted us to turn and burn. Just go back and forth, but they weren't paying enough to do that. I did get set up with the military contract guys that haul for, if you ever heard of planet.gov, out of the auctions for the surplus military vehicles and stuff like that go to auction. I did do that for that guy. I hooked up with, I said, I'll take 3. And that was just a round trip, turn and burn, you know, go load, drop it off, go back, get another one. One he for. You know,
Real quick,
it's
real
a money
quick.
game. No, go ahead.
No, sorry. This is completely off topic. I just want to point out Poet's comment here. He says maybe look into pea seeds, Justin. They go east, west, south, and north. And some Griff. I'm just saying hi to some people. Griff's in the house. Good evening, Griff. People saying hi to Poet. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think at some
Times walking across the parking lot, do you smile looking at your truck?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Because of the rookie, I have started polishing my rims. I have started like detailing my truck as I'm waiting to get loaded or unloaded, and I enjoy it. And you know what? Like, I view my truck as something that has generated me. I even looked at my Mac this way. That Mac cost me $40,000. I made $500,000 with that truck. Like, I look at that as like that makes me smile. I'll be honest. And I have found that a little bit of, now I don't have like the chrome bumper that you do, but the little bit of chrome I have on my truck, when I am cleaning it, I feel good. And I like how it looks. And my truck looks beat up right now, guys. I got freaking duct tape. Justin, you've seen my truck, but it's...
You don't have that window fixed yet?
No.
What are you doing?
I don't have the window, the side box, the
extra AC, bro. There's the extra AC.
Yes. It looks good. It sets me apart from everybody else, and everybody laughs at my sticker that says "Don't be an idiot" on the plexiglass that's covering the hole in the truck.
And brokers pay you more for that now, right?
Yes, they do. Train horns next.
You know, another thing that I like your style of freight that I am very, very jealous of, and I'm not trying to sit here and complain about what we do, Fate, but you're a lot more, for the most part, you're a lot more 9 to 5 type of shippers and receivers, and you don't typically get 100 trucks that are coming in there to deliver at that spot. You know, and not all the time, but it sounds like as long as you have communications with that receiver, that if you let them know, like they're excited to get their freight. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, you know, especially when you're delivering to a project or something like that. But when you're delivering to, you know, a plant or a construction site or something, and you're able to get it there a day early, they're okay with that. You know what I mean? As long as you communicate with them. And that's something I know that my buddy does that I'm very fond of and I'm very jealous of, because like I said, I'm not sitting here and complaining, but man, everybody already knows, I don't need to say it, but what we deal with. But man, it seems like in the last 3 to 6 months, I mean, it has gotten so bad that I feel like I literally have to check every single step of the way, from the time that I book the load till the time I close my doors and my trailer's finally empty. I delivered to a Walmart the other day, which Walmart's usually pretty good. You know what you get. You know what I mean? You know what to expect when you go to a Walmart. You're going to be there for 2 to 4 hours. But I had six pallets, and then my last drop is 12 pallets I got on here, right? My second stop that I went to, pull into the dock, drop the trailer, they unload it. They must have accidentally pulled too much freight off and put it back on, right? So they realized, hey, this is for the next Walmart stop. So I've been pulling out of those docks, and normally I pull all the way out to then close my doors. But lately there's been so many trucks coming in, there's a truck waiting for me to pull out. So I'll pull out of that dock 3 to 4 feet, put my load bars back in there, and just double check the freight. Those guys pulled those pallets off, and they just put them on the tail of my trailer, like sideways inside. Like they didn't put it back into the load. And I'm sitting here scratching my head like, how stupid can we be here, guys? Like, this is not rocket science. You know what I mean? So then I go inside and I explain to them what's going on. And then he's like, okay, you got to talk to this lady. And I go up to her, and I'm, you know, totally professional. And she goes, So what do you need to know? That was her first thing. What do you need to know? And I was like, I don't need to know anything. I need you to do your job and tell those guys inside to put the pallets back where they belong. You know, and it's just like, what are we doing here, man? And it just seems like it's just everywhere you go. I don't know if you're getting the same thing, Fade. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to sit here and freaking cry about it, but it's just, it's getting out of hand, man.
I would to know your manager's number. That's what I would have said.
Well, I get some of it. I have how do I say this? Because I don't want to. I deal with some of that. There are 3 loads that I haul that
right?
they know who I am. So like, I'm not treated that way. I get unloaded quickly. I can get unloaded days in advance. But I know how it feels to be treated that way. And when I did construction work, when I ran flatbed, I was never treated that way. I showed up to now I hauled all construction material. So I didn't haul coils or anything like that, but I would show up to these sites and they wanted to see me. You know what I mean? They would bring the Lowells out or whatever and unload me as fast as they could. Now, a lot of the places were union too, so like I would have to work with them if, you know, they might pull off 1 pallet of something and go on break for a half hour. That was just something I had to deal with. But I do think in what I do and what you do, Justin, yeah, we're not treated well at all. And we're what you just said about how they put the pallets back on your truck. I have had that happen to me where they unloaded my whole truck. And you know the company that I haul for, I had 9 drops on my trailer. They were getting 2 pallets. They unloaded the whole truck. As I'm screaming at them to stop unloading me, they unloaded the whole truck. And then I had to go in and have them reload it the way that my stops were set up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, and they wanted to charge me. You can't read the sticker that's on the pallet that says, this is yours? This isn't? But anyways, 7 Seas Transport, which drives a truck that I wish I had, the W900, said paid by the gallon in the wintertime. I don't care a lot about miles per gallon, but when step decking, I get a whole 5.75 miles per gallon.
That's actually not terrible. I mean,
well, you hit the nail on the head, Justin, earlier when you brought up like what these guys' trucks have to pull. Our trucks probably couldn't pull it. You know, like it couldn't pull it.
The training would be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely smoked. So, hey, listen, man, I appreciate you having me in here. I gotta run. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. I hate to bounce out of here. We're having a great conversation, but duty calls, if you know what I mean.
I hear you, bro. Give me a call tomorrow or shoot me a text or something, bro.
Yeah.
Or if you don't, congratulations, man.
Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Cents per mile. It's nice seeing you, brother. I'll see you later. All right. You enjoy that beer and have another one for me. All right.
We'll get that bumper.
Scott, time to get a new template. For what? What did I miss? What did I miss? Did Justin leave?
I think so.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to. There we go. I didn't realize I had to move them.
Are you drinking?
What?
You've been drinking?
No. Why? Do I seem like I have been?
No.
I'm tired, man. I've had a long day doing nothing. But I actually think I'm going to run too. My wife is probably done watching the show with the kids, and I would like to spend some time with her before she goes on vacation.
Vacation?
Yeah, she's going up north. She does it every year.
Yeah.
She goes up north.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. Sit at home. No, so we have a trip planned like the middle of July. We're going up to the cabin in July, and You know, I'll be honest. You know what? Screw it. Like our kids are getting older, right? Like my stepson's 19. My youngest daughter is almost 17, and we've thought long and hard about like, can they be home alone now? You know what I mean? My oldest is off at college and said that they would come home and stay here. So like I chose to come home to be with my wife before she left. And then when she left, I was like, well, I'll stay a couple of days that way. But like, I think they're old enough to be home alone. You know what I mean? But we're worried about the typical things. Are they going to have their boyfriends and girlfriends over? You know what I mean?
You mark the liquor bottles.
You know what? If my oldest comes home, we're going to have to do that because I know that, yeah, you know, that's a college student. She drinks, you know what I mean? I'm not naive. The other two, to be honest with you, like when we go on our big vacation, we've offered them like sips of stuff and the 19-year-old and 17-year-old really don't want anything to do with it, you know? Not saying they wouldn't if we were gone. I'm not naive. I was that age once. Yep. But it's just, we're at that point, like, you know, our kids are getting so much older, but it's hard to like let go. You know what I mean? It's hard to let go. You know, so that's why I came home, so the wife can go on vacation. I can kind of watch the kids and then go back on the road for a couple of days.
Yeah, your kids are old enough. You're going to be Granddaddy Scott pretty soon.
No, don't say that. I'm not ready for that, Matt. I'm not ready for that. Not at all. How old? I mean, you got kids. I saw one in there. Four. Yeah.
I got Tatum, how old are you? 12? 13.
13 going on 14.
13, 11, 4, and 3 months.
Dad.
That's crazy, bro.
You got this.
That's crazy. Justin, welcome to the actual real world. I don't know what that means. Poet, you're losing me here, bro. The last couple of comments, I don't follow you, Poet. That's another Canadian. He's probably, you know, yeah, you gotta watch what they say. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like trucking is what you make it, I guess. When I really think about it, I don't think there's a right way or wrong way. I mean,
that's my whole selling point. The truck works for what I do. Number one. Number two, I'm a little bit more happy driving it. I'm a little bit more comfortable. These roads are shit, no matter what. But going down the road, longer wheelbase, it helps a little bit.
Yeah, of course it would.
People pull over on the side of the road and you see them out on the side of the road with their camera.
Yeah.
By, I mean, you smile every single time it happens. It just happens.
I smile every time people point up at my sticker right now and laugh at my truck. I know it's completely different, but it's the truth, man. Like,
yeah,
it's, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Like I said, when you made that comment to me, when you first you were sharing pictures with me of this truck before you put it on the internet, and I remember talking to you, and you were like, "Man, it's my dream." And I thought, like I have no argument or no comeback. And you know who else did that to me was 7Cs. 7Cs did that, said almost the exact same thing to me, a little bit different, but it was like, oh, like that makes sense. You know what I mean? I guess right now, if I had to look at why I drive the truck I do, is my dream right now is to generate as much as I possibly can.
Oh,
and
you're running it as a business. Listen,
yeah,
I'm dying this truck.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real about the business we're in here.
Yeah.
I use it right now. It's a tool. I use it to generate money. Could I generate more money with a different truck? Probably.
Not for what you do. We just said that. You couldn't. That truck would have to be spec'd. If you had a plastic truck, it would have to be spec'd with a strong rear end with a ton of freaking. You're not going to get any better fuel mileage, and you know what? You proved that with the truck that you got out of versus the truck you're in now. You already proved that.
I'm getting better mileage with this truck.
Yeah.
A little, which there's one other guy in our fleet that gets a little bit better than me. You know, sometimes I do kind of just I lay into it just to get home type of a deal.
Right.
And we do. There's some times where I'm dead heading home. Sometimes I'm dead heading home from 8-9 hours away.
Well, see, I was just sitting here thinking about what I just said, and I'm a complete contradiction. I mean, because when I think about what I just said, Justin just left this. Justin gets the best fuel economy in the fleet of the trucks with the carrier we're leased onto. I could drive the exact same truck he does. I chose not to because I'm a Cummins guy. That Cummins truck is going to get a mile less per gallon than the Cascadia.
Why?
Plain and simple.
Why?
Plain and simple.
What's he got?
What?
What does he have for a motor?
The DD15.
Okay.
And I got the X15 efficiency series. It's a good motor. I like it. And the reason, like I said, the reason I went with it was I don't know a lot about doing my own work on my truck, right? Like I've done more and more lately. But I know Cummins. When I was a company guy, all the engines were Cummins engines. I know I understand it better, right? So that's why I went that direction. But
also repair shops. There's a Cummins shop.
Yeah.
I think DD's got a pretty good what would you call it, serviceability area as well. But there's a few that thank you, the animal.
Yeah. That's a good dude, by the way, the animal.
Oh, I know. He's always liking my videos.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I got that new app. Where I can see everybody that likes and watch my videos. So
you got that trucker Tinder app, huh? You don't want any more kids?
Duty rear ended her.
All right, man. I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna go hang out with my wife and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for stopping in here, man. We definitely need to chat more too, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't ever call people back, so I'm not gonna tell you I will call you. I'm so bad at that. So I'll shoot you a text though.
That's all right. I took a page out of your book this week. I'm running all local for local contractors, so I'm home every night this week.
So hold on. There's one comment. I want to see the pics of this truck. What, my truck or the truck that I want to buy? So I found, I'll be honest, I found a W900 gray, like charcoal gray, dude. The truck is freaking gorgeous. It is everything that I want in a truck. It is everything I want in a truck. And I was able to stop. I had enough time on the load I was at that when I saw it, I was able to do a U-turn and go back to the exit, go in and look, talk to the guy, have him start it up. It had it had everything I wanted in it. I have some pictures of it, so I'll send 7Cs a picture of the truck. Like I said though, I think I would drive it for about 2 months and then maybe kick myself in the foot. Or like,
why? What's holding you back?
Money, man. Money. I saw the difference leaving the Mac to the International, where I saw my International almost pays for itself with the fuel savings.
Let me ask you this. Does fuel, now you can call me an idiot, it's just maybe a random question. Does the cost of fuel really make or break what you're doing?
Okay, what's your number one cost as an owner-operator?
My number one expense is fuel.
Okay, so as a business, what are you trying to do with your number one cost every year? Are you trying to increase it or are you trying to decrease it as a business now? I'm not asking personal. I'm asking as a business. Any business that looks at their year to date and sees a number that is consistently their highest number, what are they trying to do with that? They're trying to bring it down.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So as a business, it makes no sense for me.
Yep.
The personal side, the dream, makes 100% sense to me. You know what I mean? Let
me give you one selling point to it. The majority of the time, you're in that truck.
Yep.
So why not enjoy it? How old are you?
Because the majority of the time that I'm in the truck, I am driving it from point A to point B, and then I'm sleeping. I'm comfortable sleeping in the truck that I have. I'm comfortable driving the truck that I have.
But you don't have a couch in that truck.
No, I don't need a couch.
That W9's got a couch,
But yes, it does have a couch. This truck's oh my God, it's beautiful. Well, you know what it is? It's just trucking. Just trucking. Justin.
No, I don't know.
You don't watch Justin?
No.
Oh, okay. It's his truck, charcoal gray, with a cat motor in it though.
Ooh.
It's a beautiful truck, man. It's
got a cat in it.
What?
Got a cat in it.
It's got a cat in it.
Send
this truck would revolutionize what I could do, because think about what I just said. What we talked about earlier. E-log out the window. Like I'll go back to my paper days. No DEF. When I look at my biggest expenses on the Mac that I used to own, the biggest expenses were my after treatment system.
Yep.
There are pros and cons. It's just.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Those cons go right out the window as soon as you flip that Jake brake on. There goes your cons right out.
See, I'm not. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm not. Here's the thing. I got a buddy that I don't want to share. I got a buddy that owns multiple trucks, right? That owns multiple trucks. They all happen to be hood trucks, right? He's got a couple that are more aerodynamic, like they're the Peterbilts that are like the I would say early 2000s. So they're a little bit more aerodynamic than like what is that, the 389 or whatever. I've seen numbers that just shock me when it comes to fuel economy.
Good or bad?
I've seen fuel numbers that are 4.5 miles a gallon, man. Like that's freaking crazy in my mind. You know what I mean? But this dude's also super successful. So like it somehow it all must work out in the end. You know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be the argument that, okay, one side is, if they're that bad, how is he making it to that point? Number one. And there's always the other side that's going to say, well, he could be making it so much farther if he went this route.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you know what? I have mentors that I look up to. I have people that I've met over the last few years of doing this that I'm taking bits and pieces from everybody, because Adam, DIY. Like, DIY is very.
Hey, newsflash, he owns a hood truck.
Oh, I know. He owns a couple of them. And I've learned so much from him. I've learned so much from Cash is King. I've learned so much from friends that I've made out on the East Coast. You know what I mean? That people like you, people like Seven Seas have shown me things. Grade 8 Transportation that was in here earlier.
Hey,
Like
I met him the other weekend.
Grade 8 Transportation.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a cool dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, I heard that, by the way. I talked to him and he told me he met you.
Oh, he was talking all kinds of smack on you.
Oh, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was. I'm sure DIY was. I'm sure you were. Everywhere I go, everybody does. Anyways, I do think in the end, it works out the way you want it to work out. Like that. That's when I really look at it. I think that's the truth.
It all boils down to what do you want out of it.
Yeah. No, like I said, I talked to this. I know this. My buddy, who I just mentioned about, having these trucks. They do so much work on their own trucks. They're not down the way that I'm down. You know what I mean? They're not worried about all these freaking sensors. They're not, it makes sense to me. It does. It does make sense to me. It's just, when you're stuck in your ways, it's hard to get out of your own way, if that makes sense.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
I tried going plastic truck and I was like, dude, I'm a hood pusher for life. I don't know. I'm going to pay a little bit more, but
I hear you, bro.
they call it smiles per gallon.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyways, all right, bro. I'm gonna get off. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, man. You brought a lot to the table, so I appreciate it.
I bring that much. It's a lot of glory. It's a lot of fame, and it's not the lifestyle for everybody.
You're a good dude, though. I appreciate it, man. I hope everybody has a good night. Thanks for stopping in here tonight. Like I said, I chose to go this route of doing a live because it's all the normal people. Only 20 people in here, but you know what? It's the 20 people that are always around. So I appreciate everybody stopping in tonight. Cents per mile, thanks a lot. You got a video coming out. You want to, hold on, everybody go check out, put your link in the comments, bro. Put your link in the comments.
Can't.
You can't?
I don't know how.
So, what do you mean you don't know how? You share your channel. Anyways, everybody go out and check Cents Per Mile if you haven't already. He does blogs.
Drop a video every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. All right, man. Well, you take it easy. Enjoy your weekend, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right, later. Bye, everybody.